So you decided to come back to the city this week, and in turn, the city welcomes you. I hope all of your summers have been eventful and fun. Mine certainly has, and since life has been lifing, it's taken me a bit to get this one done, so I apologize for the delay for any previous listeners waiting to sink their teeth into the next episode. Tonight I've got a story that will be told in several parts. First time I'm doing one like this, so I'll see how it turns out. I hope you enjoy the Flea Market Murders. I haven't been going outside much lately. A little bit scared. Everything's always a little bit dangerous, but it's more so than usual lately. There's a killer on the prowl. Not just in my city, but in my neighborhood. Every other day I turn on the morning news while I'm getting my morning coffee, getting ready to go to work, and someone else was found on the streets. Most of them within a few blocks of me, with their heads bludgeoned in. Seems like there were 2 or 3 of these every week for the past few weeks. Obviously, they seem to think it's the same guy. I know it is. They don't have any suspects yet. I know who it is. I mean, I don't know his name, but I did have a run-in with him a few weeks back. It's a pretty normal weeknight. Worked a full day, didn't have any private practice clients at night, so after stopping home to feed the cats, I figured I'd pop on over to one of my local spots for a pint or two. Left the house and started walking down the block, checking my phone messages and not really paying too much attention to what was going on around me. Just a few minutes of walking, some laughing and yelling. Looked up to see a man doing push-ups in the middle of the street. Right outside of a family home where there were 2 women, looked around my age, sitting out front in folding chairs. I couldn't tell if they knew the guy or if they were talking to him or just being amongst themselves. As I was walking past, I walked on the sidewalk between the women and the man in the street, casually called out to the guy, "Gotta get in your exercise somehow." Smiled at the women, but also trying to check their expression to gauge again if this is someone they knew or someone who was harassing them or just a rando. Assumed one of the latters. While I don't have any absolute proof, I'm fairly certain the house at the end of my block are some of the local heroin and or meth dealers in the neighborhood. They always have the craziest folks hanging outside their house, and I see the junkie porch pirates always rolling up there. He didn't look like one of the guys that lived there, but I assumed was one of their customers, or maybe just another random junkie or meth head too high for his own good. Shouldn't have called out to him or said anything though. He immediately finished his set of push-ups, grabbed something up off the street, and started following me. He caught up pretty quickly and said, "Hey man, what's going on? How are you doing?" I'm doing okay. How about you?" "You know, it is what it is. Where are you going?" "I'm just heading out for a drink. It's been a long day at work. Could really use one." Where are you going?" So I was already getting creeped out a little bit. This guy's definitely off his rocker or on something. Probably a little bit of both. Or a lot of both. You never know. "I don't know, man. Just going for a drink." "Yeah, that's what's up. Why are you getting weird, man? I just want to know where you're going." He seemed like he was getting irritated. And as I looked down, I noticed the thing he picked up off the street and was now carrying at his side was a blowtorch. "Hey man, I'm not getting weird. Sorry if I came off that way. I'm just beat. It's been a long day of work, you know?" He looked like he didn't really register that. "Are you fucking with me right now, dude?" No. I just had a rough day. What do you mean?" "Where the fuck did you get those clothes?" "I know where you got them. Where the fuck did you get those clothes, man? Where the fuck did you get those clothes?" "Whoa, calm down, bud. What, you like them?" I was wearing a t-shirt with an art print on it and my standard cheap generic black jeans, so I don't know. I get most of them online. I don't know, a few random websites with independent artists putting their... He cut me off. "I know where you got them. Why are you wearing my dead brother's clothes, bro?" Wait, what was that? "Why are you wearing my dead brother's clothes? Did you break into his house? What the fuck were you doing breaking into his house?" Alright, now I'm freaking out a bit on the inside, but I'm trying to show a cool, collected facade while I put my hands in my pocket, right hand holding onto my blade, just in case. Listen, I'm sorry, bud. I don't know you or your brother. These aren't his clothes. I got these online. I'm going out for a drink. What are you doing tonight? I'm trying to distract him or get him out of whatever delusion he's functioning with at this point. Some minor de-escalation, as any more talk about his dead brother's clothes are probably going to set him off. I don't know, man. Just hanging. You want to go to the bar? Where are you going? Where are you going? Press me further. I'm just going around the corner. I have a date tonight. I got someone waiting on me there. I lied. Yeah, so my brother died a few months ago, man. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear. Picked up my walking speed just a little bit. He keeps up with me. I'm getting closer and closer to the bar, not quite sure what to do with this situation, but at least if I get in there, I'll be around people, so notice him gripping the blowtorch pretty tight. I'm trying not to make it obvious, but I'm keeping a close eye on him as we walk. We're just about to approach the bar, and I'm desperately trying to get rid of him. Hey, bud, I gotta let you go. I got a girl waiting for me inside. Have a good night. Be safe out there. Oh, you're just gonna leave me? Yeah, man. I got a date. It's a first date. I'm not trying to show up with some dude I just met on the street. I'm no chance of getting laid then. You get me, right? Alright, good night, bud. I walk quickly and go through the doors to the bar. He didn't follow me. Thank God. I settle in, grab a drink and sit down. None of my friends are there, but a couple of the regulars I'm friendly enough are, so I sip on a cider and make a little bit of small talk as I just breathe out and let the adrenaline die down. Just about as I'm about to finish my first drink and settle up to the pinball machine to get a game in, I look out the window and see the guy that followed me. He's still outside. He's standing in front of a man and woman sitting at one of the few outdoor tables, and it looks like he's yelling at them. I can't really hear what he's saying through the glass, but he seems like he's getting agitated and aggressive. Now, as I've said before, and I'll say again, time to time, I don't always make the smartest decisions. The combination of being stressed and angry from the day, and feeling guilty that I led this guy here made me feel like I needed to do something. Chugged the rest of my cider, walked out the front door around the corner to where the table was. I saw the man half yelling, half talking at the couple who looked visibly disturbed, anxious, and a little scared. And I go, "Hey buddy, knock it off. You gotta get out of here. I don't know what your plans are for the rest of the night, but it's not here. Leave these people alone." He turned to me and had a wild look in his eye. "Fuck you, man. You're the piece of shit who's wearing my dead brother's clothes. I'll fucking kill you. Dude, get the fuck out of here now, before it's an issue." I thought I said that with a good amount of authority, threat, what have you. See, if you haven't heard me talk about myself from earlier stories, I'm not a big guy. I'm pretty short, on the cusp of middle age. I know I can take a punch and hold myself alright, but I'm certainly not in fighting shape anymore. Definitely not a tough guy, but I know how to create a little bit of a presence when need be. I didn't get the result I wanted, though, which was for him to fuck off and go on his own way. He came stepping towards me pretty quickly. Took a quick 2 steps back and threw up my fist for a second. "You fucker, I'll kill you!" He looks over at the couple who's harassing or quickly getting up out of their chairs. "This asshole took my brother's clothes, and he's saying this shit?" He turns to me. "You get the fuck out of here! I'll fucking kill you!" Something about the way he said that, I knew he was serious. Put my hand in my pocket to grab a hold of my knife, but didn't want to pull it out quite yet and escalate things. He stayed about 10 feet from me, staring me down. I started hearing commotion around as people were watching. All of a sudden, I felt the side of my arm get grabbed and I was pulled inside the bar. It's one of the owners I knew. As soon as she pulled me in, she locked the front door. I saw her husband and the other owner calling the police. I explained to her as much as I could and as quickly all the events I've already outlined so far tonight. While doing so, I saw one of the bartenders run to the side door and lock it. We waited for a bit. Dude slammed a few times on the front door. It always takes the police forever to respond. In the meantime, both I and one of the owners realized there were still some of the regulars outside with this guy that didn't get in before they locked the place up. He said he was going outside, and I followed behind him. Just as we were opening the front door and going out, we saw a few police cars pull up. They caught the guy as he was pacing up and down the street in front of the bar. It was only a matter of minutes before the cops had him surrounded. They had the lights on him, they were keeping him at a distance, and I could see they were talking to him, but I couldn't hear what was being said. I walked up to the closest officer, but before I got a chance to say anything, he yelled out, "That's the motherfucker! That's the one who stole my brother's clothes! I'm gonna kill that piece of shit!" The cop closest to him seemed to be trying to talk him down. Then I explained my story to the one closest to me. Pretty much everything, again, that I told you, that I told the bar owners. While I was doing so, I hear him yell out a few more things. "Fuck all of you, and fuck this guy. He broke into my brother's house." And he's pointing at me. He's just pointing that finger right at me. I tried my best to keep my calm with this going on and the siren lights flashing around. After I told my story to the officer, I said, "Hey, listen, this guy clearly needs some help. He's obviously either psychotic or high on something. He needs to be involuntarily hospitalized so that he can get stabilized. The nearest crisis response center is right down the road." I knew the nearest psych crisis response center was less than a mile away, on the same actual street that we were standing on. I say all this as he continues to threaten the officers, intermittently between threatening me. Listen, it's a pain in the ass, I know, and it's a lot of paperwork, but this is what this guy needs right now. You don't have to book him. The cop just kind of shrugs me off. Yeah. I see him go over to the others, and I hear the cops nearest to the man talking to him while he continues to yell and threaten. "Where do you live?" I can't hear what the man says. "Go home. Just go home." When I hear this, I run up to the officer I was speaking to earlier. "Hey, you can't send this guy away. He's a danger. He's already said more than enough for you to take him to the psych hospital for at least an evaluation." "Go back inside, bud," the officer says to me. I didn't, but I did step a good ways back, watch for a couple minutes, and watch why they let the man slink off into a dark side street before they just got right back into their cars and pulled away. What the fuck? What are the police even for if not for something like this? I went back into the bar, I got one more drink. Only a couple folks in there now, as almost everyone had cleared out during or immediately after this whole incident. Halfway through my drink, the owner came up to me, expressing that she was happy I was safe and wasn't hurt, but also said, "Hey, next time something like this happens, don't lead him here. Lead him to the bar down the street." "Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to try to get away from him as quick as I could. Next time for sure. Sorry about all this mess." After I finished my drink, I walked back home, carefully, looking over my shoulder even more than usual. Kept my blade in my hand the whole way, this time just in case. When I was at my door, realized I was out of cigarettes. I really needed one at this point. Bad timing. Luckily, the local convenience store was just a couple of blocks away. I decided to walk there. I got my smokes, put in an order for some hot food. While I waited and paid for everything, I saw through the large front windows that a couple walking down the street, probably 100 to 200 feet out on the main street, looked like they were being screamed at by a figure that looked about the same size as the man from earlier. It was all shadows to me at this point, though. There's another cop inside the store standing guard in full city cop uniform as this store gets robbed and people steal stuff enough to warrant some extra security. I go running up to him and I told him everything that had happened earlier, including the way that the police let this man just walk away. I believe he's dangerous and he's just now, right outside, harassing others on the street. "Yeah, bud. Okay, I'll call it in." I saw him get on a walkie-talkie, but didn't make any moves to do anything himself. I think my mind just about broke at this point. If I didn't already think most cops were useless at this point, I sure did now. I wish I had the gumption to actually do something about the situation, but I felt completely spent at this point. I got my sandwich, I walked out of the store, eyed the shadowy figure of what I expected was the man before another group till they were out of sight as I headed back home. I got home, made sure all my doors and windows were locked up tight, ate half my sandwich, put the other half in the fridge, and went to bed. I woke up the next morning with multiple alarms on my phone. My doorbell camera had sent me multiple alarms around 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, 4:45 in the morning. I watched the video recordings. First one showed a man briskly walking by, then crossing the street and standing with his back turned to my camera, staring into the windows of the house across the street from me. It was the man. I could tell from his clothing and build. After about 10 minutes of standing mostly still, slightly swaying back and forth, back turned to the camera, he turned around and ran up right to my house. He stared into my front window. I had my shade down, so I'm sure he didn't see anything, but he was staring, blank look in his eyes. He did the swaying back and forth for about 5 minutes before he ran off out of my camera's view. A few days later, reports of the murder started. Well, that's it for now. We'll continue the story in the next episode. Maybe two, depending on how it all plays out. The thing about this story, specifically this first part, is slightly different from some of the other episodes. When I first started the podcast, I rolled around the idea that if I ever did anything like a Patreon, the bonus content would involve telling the actual true stories behind the stories that I write. Some of them, minus the ghosts and ghouls, might actually be a bit scarier than the fictionalized versions. The first part of the Flea Market Murders, story tonight, is about 90% true to life. I'm glad I survived it and had the opportunity to share it with y'all, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this story and the rest of them, please give me a like, rating, or whatever's applicable for the platform you're on. I'm an old fart, so I'm most active on the City of Fear Facebook page, and then slightly less active on the City of Fear Instagram and Reddit page. Follow those for updates and leave some messages or comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you. As always, I hope you're doing well. If you're not, just please try to keep your head up. Focus on what you have to look forward to, and if you don't have something, get to work putting something on your calendar. Thank you for listening. I love and appreciate you. Be safe getting out of the city, and I'll see you next time you venture in.